Well, hello, and welcome in to this Roulette Rival 7 match between ItsTheAleeex and the Buff Guy. I am your host, Gunther, and I'm joined by my good friend and cohort, Punk.
Hey everyone.
And we've got a match for you. The maps that are coming up are Dartmoor and Bangkok, chosen by Alex and Buff Guy respectively. Yeah, get the predictions in because they're about to close like in a couple of seconds. So by the time you hear this, they probably already closed. But that's your problem, not mine. Our spin's gonna be live in like 40 seconds. This should be a fun one. Because obviously both skilled players. Me and you, Punky, we cast a match with ItsTheAleeex the other night, and he had really sound strategies, and he just didn't have the execution. And Buff Guy is Buff Guy. Everybody knows Buff Guy. Even on his bad days, still an incredible Hitman player. So I think that we're in for a treat. It's going to be interesting seeing how this goes, especially with Dartmoor being the first map.
Yeah, Buff Guy only has it. He's played it once in the Roulette Rivals World Championship against Red Fox. It was that controversial match you and I casted, and I had to admin and count photo finish. But the spin for this one is live. It's Alexa Carlisle. Needs to be eliminated using an SMG while disguised as the gardener. So
Okay.
starting disguise.
Well, this could take hours to finish. Yeah, so I'm guessing that we'll see a gardener start. Probably going to see some sort of SMG being brought in. I do see ItsTheAleeex currently has a smuggle. I don't know if that's going to change or not, or if he's just going to completely ignore needing that. See the gold brick mine as well. Buff's already loading into this. He's already got his plan down. Probably going to see a standard office Alexa isolation like you do. And yeah, Dartmoor is one of those maps, you hear it all the time. It's kind of whoever gets it done first, like, doesn't have to restart. That's going to be the deciding factor. So, but Buff is going for his pickup, whereas Alex is going straight in.
Yeah, Buff might have opted to bring in extra bit of tranquilizers in his inventory. Alex is homing in, so currently, if everything goes straight, Alex is ahead, even though he's
Right.
behind in terms of being in the mission. He's a couple of seconds behind, both
Right.
climbing the pipe.
So photo finish entirely possible. If both players are able to finish this run, it's entirely possible that we're going to see this finish within the 47 seconds that would require it. So that's going to be the gold brick toss for Alex.
Yeah, I'm expecting a swift takedown of this area from Alex. Since this is his map pick, he's got the...
Okay. Oh, wow. Just like, as he was calling it in, just immediately went Amber Alert there as the guard head turned, but like saw him through the staircase. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. He must have got his enforcer status at like the worst possible time. We're seeing something similar from Buff, but he does have the added advantage of having the trank dart.
Yeah, Alex brought in
nice shot
trank
as well,
darts, but they were at not in a convenient spot. So Buff Guy gets the kill very easily as Alexa sort of isolates herself. A much cleaner.
Yeah, and he hit a moving trank shot, which was just incredible. Mistyping on
when the guards are
the
investigating.
keypad.
That's definitely a good shot. Misses the password by 1 year, but rectifies that quickly.
Yeah,
and
more vintage.
I mean, he's 2 minutes ahead.
Yeah, he's got to be out of this at this point. I mean, like, sure, anything can go wrong, but he's got the keys. He's heading straight for the exit. ItsTheAleeex is just too far behind at this point.
Yeah, Buff Guy finishes 2:13, and once Alex probably reaches around like a minute in game time, that's when his photo finish will expire. But
yeah,
admin confirmation comes in.
So. Yeah, Mr. Mike is our admin for tonight, so thank you, Mr. Mike. You do so much, Mr. Mike, and we appreciate you being here now. But very handily taken care of by Buff there. I do think that opting to go for the extra time to grab the smuggle is really what paid off there. And I mean we see it with what Alex is doing now, although he is getting spotted as he takes that second shot. I guess we're just going to see him try and finish the spin, but I mean, at this point, it's over, and he's just ripped as well.
Yeah, it didn't look like he had like I said, and like you mentioned too, the execution. Like this clearing is the only execution part, and otherwise the consumed poison kill, which was allowed and disallowed in between the tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically the same thing. Alexa live kill or not. So it's just a crowd control for this area.
And
that's the map.
I don't think that anybody would be surprised to hear Buff Guy's not the biggest fan of Dartmoor. And he's made his case known many, many times. So I see some people in the chat mentioning Buff is not amused. And yeah, I think that he handily beat that because he knows Dartmoor in and out. He's a good Hitman player. But two, he didn't want to mess around with it. So that was very, very clean. But also just it's a very handy spin to get as well. So... and that's kind of the risk you take when you pick Dartmoor. Dartmoor's a map where everybody's kind of good at it, and if you're not 100% certain that you can, that you're not going to be able to get through it, then it's going to cause you problems.
Hey, she said Saffron filtered properly.
Yeah, Dartmoor is a map where you have to be good at it, and after you're done being perfect on it, you have to expect that you're better than your opponent.
Right.
We play a lot of Hitman here.
But I mean, whether he likes it or not, his stats definitely looks better now on Dartmoor. It's a 1-win, 1-loss now.
He's now at 50%.
Both time he has not picked it. The other time it was an RNG pick. This time it was his opponent's pick. So I don't think you'll catch Buff Guy picking Dartmoor anytime soon.
I don't think so. No, I think he rails against it just way too much. I think that it's a good time to mention as well, this is an upper bracket match. The winner is going to go on and face TK47, whereas the loser is going to go down to the lower bracket and face Commander Ike Oakfield. So, the loser's not out of the tournament at this stage, but still.
Yeah, you hit 500 because you were doing that 24-hour long stream. How wacky did that?
Yeah, this is we'll start to see more veterans, as we call it. On the upper part of the upper bracket, we have Ducker, I Like Hitman, and T-Nort at the top already. So
yeah, frightening place to be if you're still among the upper bracket.
So being part of the lower bracket, Buff Guy would be playing some of the rookies, the TK47s, the Champigniers.
Right.
But also Speedster has to yet to play his match, so that's he's also another veteran of this game.
Yeah, those are all scary names that I would not want to come up against in a Hitman competition. You know what I mean? Like the who's who of Hitman in terms of that upper bracket. I'd stay far away and clear of those if you wanted to make it deep into the tournament. But any given day, right?
Yeah, so going back into the Dartmoor and short map conversation, Buff Guy has banned another short map, which is New York, which wouldn't have shown up in RNG picks anyways. It's isolated from there, Dartmoor and New York. So, but Alex Van Haven, which is understandable, at least if you watched his last game, which was a struggle bus.
We are in Bangkok. Let's do this. I'm excited.
Yeah, and we're going to Bangkok, which is Buff Guy's pick. I think this is a map that is deceivingly difficult, depending on what the spin is, right? So we have Jordan Cross has to be taken out with a hatchet while disguised as Jordan Cross's bodyguard. And we have Ken Morgan, who has to be taken out with a fire axe while disguised as the waiter. So we have a large melee weapon kill with a with a hostile disguise, if you have it on you. And we have Jordan Cross with a hatchet, which his bodyguard can carry, but it is Jordan Cross's bodyguard, so you're going to have to go get that first before you actually do the kill. So this is going to be interesting. I have no idea how I would go about this. I'm thinking with the way that this is set up, you're talking about individual isolations for the targets rather than trying to get them live. But yeah, then it's going to be a matter of how do you transport that fire axe to get it to where you need it to go and have the proper disguise and stuff.
Yeah, the fire axe is probably the only problematic thing in the spin here. But again, the fire axe, if you use the Ken's, if you get Ken into the bathroom, you can just transport it there fairly easily, and maybe even with a guard disguise, and just drop it there. As you said, hatchet can be carried by the guards, as well as you can put it inside a briefcase if you bring one in.
Oh yeah, wait. Can you put the fire axe in a briefcase?
No, but the hatchet. You
Oh,
can.
the hatchet. Okay. Sorry, I
Hatchet's
got real
the-
excited.
Yeah, as Infrafun was saying earlier in the match we were casting, that hatchet is is an axe which is large enough, but not large enough, so it can be put inside a briefcase.
Ooh, okay. So Alex is going for this this isolation for Jordan, but Jordan will not go unfound indefinitely. Am I correct with that?
Yeah, there's a chance Jordan will get found. Not 100% sure. Sometime it could be random too. Buff's
Yeah.
going for the much safer one, which
Right. Yeah.
the recording crew over here have very unique behavior where they will not bother with distractions, and Jordan is in the area. He will go for that.
Okay. Well, let's see. Alex does have the bodyguard disguise that he needs, but he's lacking the hatchet.
Yeah, did you get that?
Yeah,
So-
Buff gets the disguise too. Only if this was Fire Axe, which is like right below the
Right.
Emperor Suite.
If
You
the
could
kill
just
conditions were
bring that up.
switched, this would be much more straightforward.
Absolutely, because the hatchet is like around the corner from the bathroom, where you would usually get Ken.
Exactly. And yeah, but now
They're-
they're gonna have to crisscross across the map to get the right kill conditions for the right targets.
None of them might even get Ken to the bathroom. They might use the letter opportunity. There's Buff Guy
Yeah,
grabbing a different Fire Axe. There's so many.
yeah. Well, and you mentioned the letter opportunity. There's a fire axe in that room, so
Isn't there a waiter? I think there's a waiter that I can steal. Yeah, I can steal a waiter. Let's go start clearing out some of this.
I don't know where one.
Yeah, it looks like Alex is bringing the axe to the bathroom. He is gonna knock out Ronald's son. Just weirdly stops.
that is true. I
Dragging
mean, he
him out of
probably
that
just sensed
bathroom.
that a man with a fire axe was behind him.
Yeah.
I would stop in my tracks too if I heard 47 stomping behind me. Only
Buff
kidding.
Guy
You would
going for
never
the
do it.
hatchet instead.
Yeah.
And
He does
now
have
he
it.
has everything he needs for Jordan.
Yeah.
Alex-
Are we gonna? I'm guessing we're gonna see him go up because I mean Ken's on rails for now, so he can kind of get to Ken whenever. It's not a rush to. Oh no! Oh no!
Alex!
Alex with the fire axe still equipped murders an innocent waiter. Oh, that's that's devastating. All right, so that's a restart. We don't often see that, but when we do, it's devastating.
Man, that was.
Yeah, I think it might have been a muscle memory. He did pick up
Mhm.
the hammer from the ground, so he maybe expected that to be
Right, like
equipped. But if you
it's
have
a
a larger
swap.
item, obviously.
Yeah.
Ooh, Buff. Oh, that's Alex. Just gets spotted by a recording crew. Just runs straight in. Thought he was gonna be fine.
If it's 4 points, that'd be so.
Buff, meanwhile, is actually doing the same thing Alex was doing. He's taking out the waiter outside the bathroom.
right, and it's a little bit cleaner this time.
And there's all the staff members. You can have a collection of disguises. There's the chef. There's the hotel staff, who he
Yeah.
needs for the Ken isolation.
I did that. Wasn't paying attention.
Just standing there.
Oh,
Very
there he
interesting.
goes. I know that he's the one that heard the toss. I don't. The chef coming in at the other time. That was just bad timing, unfortunately.
No, the chef. It's part of his cycle. So taking
Right,
him
yeah,
out
but
is
the
actually makes
timing
it,
is just not
yeah,
ideal for Buff.
that's around.
Lovely, thank you so much.
Yeah, Buff's gonna get the kill on Ken and then head over for Jordan.
Longer, depending on if my
Big
opponent.
smooch on the
So the waiter is also his required disguise for the Ken kill. This
Right.
is very useful.
Frickin'
And he doesn't have the fire axe yet. Correct?
execution style.
Buff picked up the fire axe from the
That was
Oh,
Just
like yeah, on one of
before
the rooms on the way in.
changing the side. So yeah,
gotcha.
he's got both axes right at his feet.
This is collection of murder.
life
pretty
sometimes.
sure it's the
Yeah, he's got a lot of collections, all the axes, all the disguises. And here's the final thing you need to do to get Ken moving, because he doesn't move beyond that door.
I would like to have
Okay, and he's just gonna have to take out Otis real quick. Alex does have Jordan isolated at least.
Kayla.
Okay, it's gonna be a target lockdown, but it is the target that spotted him, so he should be good there.
Alright, I'm gonna do this a lot better this time.
And
Buff
he's got
grabs,
the
the
disguise,
axe.
so this should be Ken done deal. He'll get his green gun back.
Come on, Alex. What's your problem, bro?
There they are. There's the fire axe as the waiter.
So
And yeah, he's set because he's already got Jordan isolated too. He's going to be allowed to basically just walk straight up there. He just has to avoid cameras, but there's not really that many that you got to watch out for. So this is looking pretty good for him.
I am currently trying to kill.
Yeah, looking great. Because Alex is just catching up to where he was with
Yeah.
the fire axe now, just approaching the bathroom. 2.5 minutes. Yeah, this is looking really good for Buff, unless he gets a really unfortunate spot somewhere. Even a camera spot isn't. It's only.
It's not the
gonna be
end of the
delayed.
world. Yeah, it's a complication he'd have to deal with.
2 points. So
But he's inside of the recording studio now, and he's just got to make his way back to the bathroom. It's looking pretty clean. You gotta wonder how much closer it would be if Alex hadn't had that fire axe equipped.
tricky because I missed the timing.
But that is the Jordan kill taken care of for Buff.
So let's just kind of hope.
He's got some enforcers up here, but he's weaving in between them pretty well.
Let's let him go.
Do I have a wrench?
Buff was considering knocking out the enforcer there. Decided against it, which is probably a good idea. He
Yeah.
might get spotted doing that.
Oh, and
And
body found.
Alex gets Ronald Supp's body found. He's dragged him away to the bathroom that the chef goes in. If
Yeah.
he
Dang it, Alex.
if he kept him where he knocks him out, he would have been safe.
Right.
I've already pretty much lost this match. So
But that probably wouldn't matter because Buff is about 20 seconds away from hitting the exit.
Yep. He's just got to get away from the front desk spotter.
Sweet.
see where
But yeah, I mean, 2 back-to-back really clean runs from Buff.
doesn't work.
We didn't see a restart at all,
Kind of
and just very clean, very well practiced all the way through.
the way that I drew it up.
Yeah, one of the fastest match, at least overall, if not this tournament. Buff with 2 clean runs. Dartmoor obviously being like a 2-minute map, and a really well optimized
Oh, I don't know how far.
axe runs.
Just assuming.
Yeah,
Bangkok.
that's the part that was great. There was a large melee, and just like yeah, it wasn't even a problem for him. Like he knew exactly what he was gonna do, how he was gonna bring those melee weapons around, how he was gonna be able to get those kills, and he did a really nice job executing as well. So GG's to both players. That means ItsTheAleeex is going to get relegated to the lower bracket, where he will face Commander Ike Oatfield in round 2. Meanwhile, Buff Guy is going to move on to play against TK47 in round 3 of the upper bracket. Let's take a look at the brackets now. We were on console for this one. And as you can see here, match 42 is going to be TK47 and the Buff Guy in round 3. And down here, we have ItsTheAleeex versus Commander Ike Oakfield. And yeah, lower bracket round 2 is most of the way through. I think that's... We've only got a couple more matches to go before that fills out, which is which is pretty exciting. If you'd like to see the brackets for yourselves as well, you can go to the links that just got posted in chat. That's where you will find all those. Let's take a look at the upcoming matches as well, because we have one a little bit later tonight, too. Yes. Okay, so tonight, or 3 hours from now, depending on where you are. It's tonight for me. We have Barbecue and Purple Key who are facing off on Chongqing and Berlin. So no caster for that yet. We might take it here on the channel. We don't know yet, but we'll know soon. So go to hitmaps.com, scroll down to the upcoming matches section. You'll be able to see all of these listed in your own time zones, as well as what channel they'll be casted on, co-casters, maps, all that good stuff. So go check that out at hitmaps.com. Punky, is there anything you'd like to say to the lovely people?
No, thanks for watching, and to you, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for coming out. We will give... let's raid Buff Guy and congratulate him on the win. I don't know if he's going to stay alive for long, so we'll do this quick. But yeah, thank you everybody so much for coming out. Mr. Mike, thank you so much for adminning, and of course all the other wonderful work that you do. Punky, I really appreciate you joining me. It's always a pleasure, my friend. Admin team for working so hard behind the scenes to put all this stuff on. Shoutcasters, players, people just interested in watching, all that good stuff. That's all that I have. So we will see you in the next one.